Namaste, beloveds. This is Mother with Wisdom, and I just feel motivated to do a tarot reading today. So I'm just going to get right into it. I'm going to start with the animal messengers by messages from your animal spirit guides by Stephen D. Farmer. So just give me a minute to shuffle the deck because I didn't do that beforehand, but I'm doing it now. Okay, this one flew out. Puel. Puel is a Hawaiian owl, and I hope I'm saying that right. The Hawaiian owl. Your ancestral spirit guides are offering you guidance now, so pay close attention to signs and omens from them. Let's see what Puel has to say. 96, which is 15, which is the number 6. That 6, boy. That 6 has got some real power this year. Puel. Your ancestral spirit guides are offering you guidance now, so pay close attention to signs and omens from them. You can receive guidance from your ancestors in the spirit world, no matter what their age, when they died, or how many generations ago they walked on the earth. They're offering you help in many ways right now, so pay close attention to the signs they give you. This guidance can come to you in many forms, whether through your eyes, ears, feelings, or thoughts. Sometimes your ancestral spirit guides appear in dreams, particularly vivid ones. You might see someone who looks like one of your ancestors or unexpectedly come across photos or memorabilia that remind you of this person. Often, a particular animal making an appearance before you is a way in which your ancestral guide is trying to reach you. You might hear something that makes you think of a specific ancestor or simply feel their presence. Any thoughts about a certain ancestor, especially unexpected and reoccurring thoughts, suggest that they're nearby. Repetition is key here. In whatever ways your ancestors attempt to contact you, when signs continue to show up that make you think of your deceased ancestors, your deceased loved ones, know that these physical manifestations demonstrate that they're with you. You may have known some of these ancestors in the physical world prior to their deaths, or they may be ancestors from long ago, several generations before your birth, surpassing the boundaries of unconscious memory. Regardless of who they are, always give thanks to your ancestral spirit guides and even appeal to these benevolent helpers whenever guidance is needed. Associations: dignity, omens, guidance, protection, wisdom, knowledge, inspiration, mysteriousness, silence, sacredness, diversity, omakua, ancestors showing up as a spirit animal, omakua. I love that. Omakua. Ancestors showing up as a spirit animal. That was very deep, beloveds, and I feel that is for a lot of us because we are getting ready to go through some serious changes, ups and downs right now, as this world kind of get ready to reset itself and get some things going, and it's going to shake a lot of things up. So you are going to feel a lot of your ancestors around you. Let them comfort you. Listen to the guidance that they give. If it scares you, pray about it. And that's what I'm going to say about that one. The next deck that I'm going to, excuse me, I have stopped smoking for 3 days now. I'm so proud of myself. I'm going to read from the Romance Angel Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue, simply because I was led to do so um, in this reading, and for no other reason. So let's see what we get from Doreen Virtue's um, Romance Angel deck. Okay. Whoa, deep one. Codependency. 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 Mm. Beloveds, I don't know why my computer looks like this. I really don't, but it is what it is. Let's move on. Codependency. I'm glad to have a computer. Thank you, Mama. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. Woo! Let's get it. Codependency. 21, which is a 3, which is a number of expansion and also unity. The fulfillment of union. I just flipped the page and there we go. Okay, Mama. Codependency addictions are affecting your romantic life. This card answers your question in perhaps a surprising way, because addictions are the culprit behind the issues you're attempting to resolve. This could be your own craving for a substance or unhealthful behavior, or it could be that your partner's addictions are impacting your love life. This card is also an indicator of childhood experiences in an addictive family. Addictions numb the heart to pain, but they also diminish its capacity to love. Since love is the basis of your romantic partnership, addictions become a barrier to moving forward toward true emotional intimacy. This is especially true if you are twisting yourself in knots to please a person whose dependency has lessened his or her capacity for happiness. That no-win situation will negatively affect your self-esteem and your own happiness if you continue. Fortunately, lots of support is available worldwide in the form of 12-step meetings and other addiction support fellowship models. Whether it is you or your romantic partner who has the addiction, you can feel free. You can find free groups near you through internet searches or by contacting a local community health center. And beloveds, I just want to say this: with certain addictions, they are passed down through the they are encoded in your children in the children. They're encoded in the genetic codes. It may miss one person or skip a generation or whatever else, but you have these cravings and you have this way of being that you're manifesting from this codependency of an ancestor or a relative, um, and you've inherited that capacity, that I don't want to say disease, but that, what word am I looking for? Propensity. There we go. The propensity to be codependent in your relationships, the propensity to get into relationships where codependency will kind of shape the drama or shape things. And if you don't know what codependency is, beloveds, Google it. Google it. Codependency is when you can't be alone, when you have to be with somebody. Um, and that person literally dictates, you know, your whole life. You do everything because you're dependent on that person's approval and opinion and sometimes finances and everything else. When you look into any kind of an abusive relationship. There's a codependency issue that is underlying in that. Okay, let me move forward. Um, Next, I'm going to use the um, Esther and Jerry Hicks Getting Into the Vortex cards, a deck of 60 relationships cards. And I always pull 3. Okay. 4. Okay. 4 this time. Why 4? Every direction, and it has more weight, and that extra card is going to be for someone. Okay. Mama, give us what we really, really need to know to help us get through what's coming. What's coming toward us spiritually, politically. Okay, well, she jumped out again. She jumped out. Let me just get these other cards, beloveds. Mama, just give us what we need, please. Give us some clarity on how to be in these now coming moments and how to ground ourselves and what we need to work and focus on. Okay. All right. Okay, we have the cards and we will begin. This was the first card, and I just posted this card on my Facebook page because when I pulled it before, it just struck me because it's so powerful and it's so beautiful. And here we go. I use my little incense. This is the higher self. This is the biggest self. This is the most wise self. This is the original self. This is the most authentic self. This is the, how can I say, what I'm getting is soul self. This is the soul self that deals with the feelings and the emotions. And this is the physical self that deals with the thoughts. And your higher self is overseeing these two. And as you see, they're in alignment. And there's a great connection, and it's just beautiful. Let me just get to it. This is 28, which is a 10. And I've been saying 10 is beginnings. 1 is beginnings. 10 is endings that leads to beginning because the 0 and the 1. There are many right ways for us to behave. It is possible to live upon this planet with large number of other beings who believe and behave in a variety of ways in peace. When you are able to focus in such a way as to allow your alignment with Source, even though others are choosing to behave differently than you are choosing, then you will truly be free from the bondage of attempting the impossible task of getting everyone to agree on one right way. One right way would lead to endless. Many right ways allow eternal expansion. And beloveds, that is really something that Mama is working on me with, because as a Taurus, I get it in my head that sometimes there's one destination, but there are many paths. But you still get in this is right, this works for me. But you have to realize just because something works for you, don't mean it's going to work for everybody else. And you have to allow. And what may seem a lack of morals or scruples or whatever else in your mind, in your heart, and for you, that is not the same for another person. Their journey may be one of what you might consider promiscuity, but that promiscuity is the catalyst that's going to help them get to the self love that they need to get to. So stop judging people for what they do, and stop, and I'm saying this to myself too, because I have been judging a lot of lifestyles and a lot of other different things that they may not work for me, but they may work for the next person. And it's not up for me to call it good or bad. I can say it's not my thing, but I can't say, well, that shouldn't be your thing because it's not my thing. That's not right. We are very different, diverse beings. We have very different, diverse needs. And we have got to get into the habit of allowing other people their ways. It's very important to respect another person's ways, as long as those ways aren't hurting someone. Okay, let's move forward. I believe how fast I'm doing this. The next card is, I can focus on what I do want in a relationship. What a card, what a card, what a card. Hmm. This is kind of deep, beloveds. It's kind of deep because I'm looking at this section of where her brain is, and that's where the heart is, and I'm looking at this blue, and blue always represents spiritual to me. So that's the frontal lobe, and back here is where the hair is at, and that's like the black matter where everything comes from. This is just my interpretation of this card, and I'm looking at this heart. Somebody is giving it to her while another hand right here is resting on her shoulder, telling her it's okay, or slow down, slow down. Um, the card says, by focusing upon the wanted characteristics of those around you, you train your vibrational offering to match only the best in them. And then the law of attraction can no longer match you up with the worst in them. When you focus upon the worst of them and train your vibrational offering to match only the worst in them, the law of attraction can no longer match you up with the best of them. And beloved, if you haven't learned anything else, that is a beautiful lesson right there. That is a beautiful, beautiful lesson. That when you are trying to get into a friendship or a relationship or any type of situation with another being, if all you're doing is focusing on the negative aspects of what you don't like about that person, there's not going to be an easy flow between you, because you're blocking the law of attraction, and the law of attraction says there has to be attraction. But if you're like, I don't like that, nah, you got to change that, you got to do something with that, I can't be bothered with that, you're not going to come together, because the law of attraction is not going to like it, because the state of mind and the energies and frequencies and vibrations where you are is separating it. It's causing um, an expansion. It's causing distance. It's building walls. It's pushing away. It's not bringing you closer. So in order to pull something closer to you and use the law of attraction, see the positive things about it. See the positive things, and concentrate and focus on those positive things, not the negative things. And beloveds, it's going to take practice, because our society is so used to just dogging and talking about people and messing with folks and all kinds of things. So take your time and think about what you really want. Think about the relationship that you really want. Think about the qualities that you want that person to exhibit, to express, to reflect to you. And that is what you concentrate and focus on. And that is what you will draw and attract to you. And it's going to take practice, beloveds. We don't just do this the first time and we get it right. It takes time. It takes time and it takes practice because most of us are so used to looking at what we're not going to put up with or what we don't like or that's got to change, and we don't look at the good stuff. You know, that's a person got a good heart. Let's see what we can grow from there. Let's see what we can build from there. You know, I should be able to communicate with them, or we should be able to open up something because they got a good heart. No matter blah 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 blah. You know, I can work those things out. But, you know, so focus on what you do want. Okay. The next card is whoa, you sneaky. These cards are stuck together. Okay. You sneaky. So it's 5, it's not 4. 7, this is a 43. Look at those cards. Look at them. Okay, this says, why do I want the relationship I want? Think about what you want in a relationship and why you want it. Look for those around you who are experiencing good relationships and feel appreciation for them. Make lists of the positive aspects of those good feeling relationships you have spent time with. In fact, one of the fastest ways to make your way to a wonderful relationship is to find any subject that consistently feels good, even if it has nothing to do with relationships, and focus on that. The next card, the one that was stuck to that one, my life is about my relationships. And this is card number 1. So we started off with a 10, and now we have a 1. Mm. This is so deep, beloved. So I'm going to let you see. And each one of those are heads with eyes. And in the biggest head here, there's a spiral. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's what the card looks like. You will never find yourself in a point in time when the subject of relationships is not an active part of your now experience. For everything you perceive or notice or know is because of your relationship with something else. Without a comparative experience, you would be unable to perceive or focus any kind of understanding within yourself. Therefore, it is accurate to say that without relationships, you could not exist at all. That is so powerful, beloveds. That is why we come here with families. You know, we start with families. We learn how to be with each other. We learn we come through a mother. You know, that's our first relationship. That's in that womb, you know. And it just grows and develops from there. And we have to reflect upon our feelings and our thoughts about relationships because many of us base them on all kinds of things that excuse me, my stomach, I haven't eaten. What am I trying to say? We start them off, we start off with relationships. Um, and if we don't know how to be in a relationship, a lot of us don't know how to be in a in a good relationship and not a dysfunctional one. And when you've been in dysfunctional relationships, It's just like the other card said, you're used to looking for those red flags, and you're so busy concentrating and focusing on those red flags that you're missing sometimes the essence of that being, the truth of them, of what you can grow and work with, because you're so busy focusing, excuse me, you're so busy focusing on you know, what you don't like. Let me move forward. This card is number 4. Every relationship I establish is eternal. Wow, and I love that infinity sign around the eyes. That is so deep. Both of them are holding little sparks, look like sun and moon energy. It is our desire that you come to remember that every relationship is eternal and that once it has been established, it is a part of your vibrational makeup forevermore. And that in your powerful now, where all that you have become converges with all that you are now becoming, you hold the power to create. And so, your observation of a situation, wanted or unwanted, no matter how remote you believe yourself to be, makes you a co creative partner of the experience. So, beloveds, no matter distance, no matter how far you think you put distance between yourself, whatever happens, it takes two for a relationship. And whatever is going on, you are part of it. You are co creating whatever is going on. If you are not the one creating, you are agreeing to it being created and you receiving it. So there is, you know, compliance on your part. Um, and that is going to be the reading, beloveds. That's going to do it for today. And I just want to say thank you very much. This is Mother with Wisdom, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. And beloveds, start thinking positive, start projecting positive, start projecting positive. And when you find yourself with those negative or down thoughts, immediately ground yourself. I mean, just grounding, grounding, grounding. Snap yourself out of it. Put yourself back into a positive mindset. Protect your heart. Protect your feelings. Protect your thoughts. Be gentle with yourself. Be loving with yourself. Um, Understand that your first relationship is always with yourself. And the better relationship you can have with yourself, the better relationship you can have with another. The more you get to know yourself and observe things about yourself, the more observant you will be with another. And when you learn how to be positive with yourself, when you learn how to look for the positive things and focus and concentrate on that, a lot of times you don't see, you're not so impacted by the negative frequencies and vibrations. They're held back because of the frequencies that you are holding. Those positive feelings are anchored inside of you because you want to be positive. You want to feel good. You want peace of mind. And so you anchor that. You hold on to it. You fight for it. You do what you have to do to keep it. You let go what you have to let go. You know, you surrender what you have to surrender. And you just be. You be in that place where peace of mind is yours. It's your kingdom. It's your heaven. It's your hell if that's what you want. But learn to be good to yourself. Use your imagination to be good to yourself. It doesn't take a lot of money to be good to yourself. You can just sit down and put some lotion on, or comb your hair, or read a good book, or just sit with some and think about some things that you haven't thought about, some happy times, or pictures, or whatever. Sit and color in a coloring book. You'd be surprised what the stillness will reward you with. Okay, that's going to do it for this video. This is Mother with Wisdom. I hope you enjoyed the readings, and I hope it vibrated or resonated with you somewhat the way it did with me. I got a lot to think about with it. So that's it, beloveds.